So look, I wanted to tell y'all, so you know, Bree Hammond is here. She's in the D. Fred Hammond's daughter. Yes, we talking about the top king of the gospel industry, okay? It's fun times with him because my mom and him has been on tour together many of times.
How old is she?
She's about my age. You know she's on that song, on his song, I Would Trust You.
I Would Trust.
Yes.
Oh.
Just the connection itself, just us being legends, kids, growing up in the industry, growing up to sharing our parents with y'all. I can really relate to Bree and the things that she deals with.
So my name is Tishelle, you guys. I'm with Urban Bridges. First of all, thank you guys all for taking the time to speak with us and for letting everybody get in the know of what's going on. Let's go ahead and get started by all of you introducing yourselves and letting us know what your ties is and your family ties to the music industry.
Okay. I'll go first. I'm Tasha Page Lockhart, and I'm a singer, songwriter, a mother, and my ties to the music industry is my mother. She was the lead singer of the female group Witness. Her name is Lisa Page Brooks.
I'm Jay Brooks. I am a producer and songwriter, musician, and my father is a founding member of the group Commission.
Hey everybody, I'm Shana Wilson-Williams. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, of course. I am a mother of 3, wife of 1, and my ties to the music industry is myself, but I was born in a community of the church, of course. My parents are pastors in Detroit, Michigan on the east side, and they just raised us around music and worship and all things God. And so I think I just carried some type of musical, I don't even know how it happened, but it just happened for me. And I guess I'm the start of it. My children are now singing and loving music, and my husband does producing. So I guess I'm the start of the music lineage in my family.
Okay.
Hey y'all, my name is Nikkia Cole Beach. I go by Nikki. I am a wife, mother, entrepreneur. My link to ties into the industry is my mother is Dorinda Clark Hall, one of the Clark sisters. And just the honor just to be part of this setting. I call myself the BTS queen, so I don't sing, but I still have a connection in the music industry overall, business-wise.
Alrighty, I think everybody tapped in.
Oh, I got it.
Sorry.
No, you're good. My name is Bree Hammond, and my ties are also through my father, Fred Hammond, who was one of the founding members of the group Commission as well, along with Pastor Bishop Michael Brooks. And yeah, my dad is still in the industry, still working, traveling, producing, and so my ties are, just finding my balance in pursuing my passion for singing, songwriting, but also having a little bit different of a path with regards to the opportunities that have been extended to me. So yes, just super grateful to be here, excited about this cast and this show and this opportunity. And it's a great privilege.
Right, awesome. Now let's jump right in. Jay Brooks, tell us about the hardest part about filming this show once it got started.
The hardest part about filming probably is trying to open up. I'm super private. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do a whole lot of talking and a whole lot of, I'm barely on social media. So getting me to even just kind of open up and be willing to share other things in my life was a bit of a challenge. Not because it's something to hide, just because, sometimes I think that ain't nobody business. But I realized that, my story helps other people. You know what I'm saying? And people connect to it. So that was probably the most difficult part. Other than that, it really wasn't hard. Live your life and let people film it. Just so that I would say that.
Give your music, because you come from a time where you saw real music happening in real studios with like the whole process, right?
Studio A.
Studio A like literally groomed us. You know what I'm saying? We saw everybody from Jay-Z to Mary J to the Clark sisters, everybody out of this studio. But it's different now, right? Because where it used to cost you thousands of dollars to actually do that, now everything is in the computer. You don't even need like a label to put music out, but you just have to do it. Like you have to write a song every day.
Jesus. Just hope that my showing up is proof that like I'm still trying. I may not be there yet.
It's not.
It's not?
No, not showing up once. I have these conversations with artists all the time, with people who are immensely talented, who like, okay, all right, Jay, I'm ready to do it. And it's like, yeah, but then in 3 weeks, you know, you don't have there's nothing to show for it.
I'll write a song here right now.
Okay.
Like, chicken
Oh my God.
that we eating. Like,
There it is.
The misconception is that we are, that believers are not human, or that they have some extra ability to behave and think and believe a certain way, when really we're all human. We all go through life. We all have to figure out if your path is, you know, in our case, Christ's way, then we all have to figure out how to exude that, how to embody that, how to live by the Spirit and so forth. So the misconceptions that I want to be broken completely is just that we have a better ability to do what everybody else would have to try to do, when we don't. We really don't have a better ability. We just know who to call on, and we know who we trust and believe in. So that's what I want to be broken down.
Shana, any reservations at all in allowing your family into this space and reality TV to infiltrate your family?
Did you say Shane? You said me, Shana?
Yeah.
Okay. No reservations. We're pretty open. I'm very open on social media. I film everything. Film me giving kids not baths, but I'm very open when it comes to what I'm doing. And so I don't think I had a reservation. The only thing that was difficult for me was I was just getting over the loss of my mother. So it was just very hard. And because, of course, when we were shooting the pilot, she was a part of that. And she was a part of the journey of me getting on the show and figuring out where I fit in. And just not having her voice there, not having her presence there was very difficult for me during that time. But, you know, the cast was very supportive. The producers were very open and supportive of me. And they didn't make me say things that I really was uncomfortable talking about. So I think, you know, I didn't have any reservations as far as opening up and letting my family in, because they actually my children love being a part of, you know, everything that I do. My husband is very supportive. So I think, you know, we handled it well.
Okay. This is for anyone who wants to answer it. Now, with the trailer airing, there has been already some criticism from the critics who already have a view on what Christianity is and how it is viewed and represented in this show. What are you all speaking to that?
Watch the show. We love y'all.
Exactly.
And the show is called Grown.
And gospel.
Grown.
Right.
Wrong part.
I mean, it's just what it is.
I mean, I think a lot of times, you know, can you hear me?
Hi, Eliza.
Hey, how are you? I think a lot of times people, you know, they judge, you know, we hear so many times, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. It's no way that you can wrap up this whole show in a 60-second clip or a 30-second clip. So all I can say is watch the show. You know, you're definitely going to laugh, cry. I think it's going to not only heal family relationships and things in that nature, but it's just going to open up it's going to be a broader spectrum of where church is today, you know? So
can I add to that, Tishelle? I think that this is definitely going to be a conversation starter, because there's a lot of conversations that has not been had because of that statistic that you're saying now. Everybody got something to say, but don't really want to say what needs to be said. And so I think this show will be the conversation starter. People are going to stop watching the show at 10 o'clock when it ends, and they're going to be like, did you hear what Tasha said? Did you hear what Jay Brooks? Did you see what happened? And they gonna start saying, I remember when, and they gonna start being open and honest because they being fake. This is the real. We are really putting the real in the word.
That was the question.
All right. Elijah, you're back on. Would you mind introducing yourself to us and letting us know what your ties is and your family ties to music industry?
Oh, well, my name is Elijah Connor. And my family ties to the music industry is a broader spectrum than gospel. However, I did grow up in the church, being a preacher's kid, my dad being a reverend and my mom being an evangelist, missionary to Jamaica and everything for over 30 years. But also I have music royalty in my blood with Prince being my cousin as well. So mixing the secular with the gospel, but hey, I want to go outside the four walls of the church, you dig?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because you are an R&B artist and you are not pursuing gospel. What do you think that you add to this cast and to the show?
Well, I mean, my back has been hurting a little bit, but from literally, I think me and Tasha and some others probably carried the whole show on our back. But no, I'm talking shit. But what I will say is what I add to this story is we all grew up together. I'm just the one that actually had enough. How can I say it? Had enough, didn't care what people said, where I just said, I'm just going to go R&B, So, and I'll do a gospel record or a gospel song one day, but right now I'm getting to the bag, and I'm singing about love. God is love. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave. So I'm giving my secular music.
Heard. Okay.
See Bree's hair? I was calling her CC, cut and color. What I remember about Bree is that, but she always kind of felt like kind of left out, in her circle, in her family.
Can I get a picture too?
Mike,
Elijah, can you get my picture too?
Don't tell my minister of music I skipped rehearsal tonight to be at the party. Don't tell Jay Drill.
I'm well, how are you?
How you feel?
I don't think they recognize Brienne as Fred Hammond's daughter.
I just wanted to get my hug out.
I think to make that introduction and kind of make that plain.
Meet Bree, this is Fred Hammond's daughter.
You know what? I know she's beautiful. She is. It's so good to.
Since I was a baby.
Last time I met Bree,
know, right?
I heard so much about you. Talk to your dad.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Bree seemed like she looks so out of place right now where it's kind of like secondhand embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for her.
I sing, I write. I do. I sing and write. Yeah. It's just been a challenge.
But listen, don't quit your day job.
I can't afford it yet. There's like an assumption that
Absolutely.
royalty, legacy, but it don't mean.
They don't know that you all are normal, just like anybody else. Please tell your dad. I say, hey.
Seeing Nikkia surrounded by her family, it was like, dang, I want to know what that feels like. I can't do what I'm supposed to be doing in Kansas.
But are you going to be backing up long enough to do what you need to do?
Holy Father.
Let me put my fingers through your thigh.
Only my man do that.
Oh, I didn't know you had a man. I was like, wait a minute, why are you back here? I just figured it was just costume.
It's not.
Promise you.
It's a very much so promise.
Are y'all on good terms?
We're on amazing terms.
Are you kidding me?
Nikki, with the Clark sisters being gospel royalty, that legacy has continued to grow with Era and yourself. Can you talk about any pressures there are to continue to carry that legacy on and what that looks like for you?
Well, I can't say, due to the fact that, of course, my family wanted me to be a singer. My grandmother, the late Dr. Mattie Moss Clark, was like my singing teacher. I was one of her, proteges. So it was like to the point I knew I knew I wanted to sing, but it just wasn't in me. So I mean, I knew people would want me to sing as far as my family, but I just didn't have the drive. And I'm like, at this moment, I'm looking at it like my cousin Kiera, she's handling for the family. So why not? Why not take it on a whole nother level of being that I'm still part of the music industry, but I just do it on a more business end of it, as far as making sure the money is right, because that has to be done. And then also, just being involved in family and being around family and then doing what I love to do, and that is to serve. So I just think that overall I am where I want to be. I want to make my grandmother proud, but she was a businesswoman, so I can see that I am making her proud by being with the sisters as far as they are my daughters. So I kind of like play that role as being, that I am Maddie Jr. So, and they listen to me, I control it. But it's an overall blessing just to be in the family itself. So I just hope that I make them proud just off of what I do.
Awesome. Now, a huge shout out to Carlos King, who is a TV genius at this
Carlos.
point. Anything that you guys want to say as to what made you guys, when you heard about this pitch and, it was like, okay, what made y'all be like, no, I got to be a part of this cast. I want to be on here.
But I would say what made me want to be a part of it was when I had the conversation with Carlos. I think it was maybe our first Skype interview that we did. He began to explain to me, his history about being a PK and being from Detroit. And so I knew, like, okay, that's where it's going to meet. Like, you're going to make sure these stories are told right, because this is something that's close to you. And I knew that this show meant a lot to him. There were moments throughout filming the show where I literally called him and was in tears, like, because of the subject matter of what I was giving, on the show. And I was like, I need help saying this. Please make sure, this is portrayed right. This is close to me, my fam. So he kind of literally held my hand and walked me through the process. So he made me comfortable, sharing my story.
I would like to add that, and I don't even think Carlos knows this, but through what I've been attempting to do and continuing to pursue my passion for music and writing, I had put together somewhat of my own, basically pitch to shop myself around and say, hey, this is what I want to get my story out there. I want to let people know that if the Lord can fix me and is fixing me, he can fix anybody. And so I don't even know that Carlos has actually seen that pitch, but I would say that the moment he reached out to me, it was more of like a divine appointment, I would say, because whether or not he knew I was searching for this, he came to me not knowing, and it was aligned perfectly. So it was almost like the confirmation that I was looking for as far as where should I go and who should I share this with, because I had been sought out by different networks, whether it was Netflix, whether it was this or that, but understanding that I need somebody who has, the same focus with God and being serious about Christ. When he approached me, it was like confirmation. So it was a no-brainer when Carlos came to me, for sure.
Carlos the man.
For real.
And I think, like I said, going off what Bree said, Carlos King it was a no-brainer. And I think with all of our stories, they had to be handled delicately as well as told correctly, and although there are a lot of production companies and things out there, I don't think they call him King of Reality for no reason. They call him that because he knows how to tell the story, yet make it entertaining, but you walk away from watching the show, becoming a fan of the show, and wanting more and connecting. So I think every week you're going to be able to connect with one of us, if not every episode, so salute to Carlos. He believed, and we're here.
Yes, the BTS king himself.
Let me say, I said it on the other interview that I hate the narrow view that people have of gospel, right? It's like, even a lot of being more broad than gospel. But what's more broad than gospel? Who got more fans than Jesus? If we talking about, visibility and the ability to see, like my father comes from Commission, which is the blueprint for every 90s R&B group in the country. You know what I'm saying? From Boys to Men to 112.
112.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody who was doing didn't want to be like the Gap Band or Earth, Wind, and Fire in the 90s. They wanted to be like Commission. So when we start talking about influence and how broad gospel is, that's what it is. I think the world or the secular industry has given it this, this is what gospel, and you got to fit into this box and you got to be this thing. But that's not really the reality. Like, people who are, inside of the gospel world are really just people. You know what I'm saying? We believe what we believe, no matter what it is, what religion or what God you serve or what, that's, your belief system, but you living in the world and having world experiences, right? So I think me wanting to do this show is to show people that, like, there's a song where they said, if you scared, go to church. And, it's like, that resonated with me as a kid, because it's like, what you mean? Because when I read the Bible, I see warriors. You know what I'm saying? I see people cutting people's heads off, and I see men dealing with, having babies out of wedlock, and, you know what I'm saying, looking on the balcony and seeing Bathsheba taking a bath looking good, and David goes, bring her to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to knock her. Like, I see world experience. So for me, it was like, y'all need to know that this ain't no, we ain't no weak people. We ain't no, this is just life. And we just serve a God that we love, and we profess our love for the God we serve.
And then what's really the root word of gospel? I mean, not even the root word, but gospel really means what? Good news, right?
Certainly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think a lot of times people try to get deep about it, but it's really not that deep. The good news. Absolutely.
All right. Now, Tasha, you already are an established artist and have made a name for yourself. Why did you feel like it was important for you to be a part of this?
I felt like it was important for me to be a part of it because you're going to see a different side of me. You're going to see me as a woman that has, having a hard time in relationships and trying to balance being on the road and being a mother, trying to figure out, I don't have to be like my mother. I don't have to sing like my mother, how to balance that. And, making decisions on my own outside of the influence of my parents. So it just gave me an opportunity to stretch out and to get my story told, be going through a lot. And I'm not going to tell everything because you're going to see it on the show, but going through a lot of things, like Jay said, we're people. And so to have the opportunity to be on a national platform, to show that side. And I always say this, it's not breaking news if I say it first. I know what it's like to sit back at home and your 13, 14-year-old son call you and be like, they talking about you on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? They just going off of something they heard. But I get to tell my story in my own words. That's important to me, to control the narrative of my life. So that's why I did the show.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to start wrapping things up. I want you guys to let us know, why are we supposed to be tuning into Grown in Gospel March 16th on WeTV?
Because we fly.
Because you ain't never seen nothing like this before.
And we from the D, baby.
You get it all. You see it all.
I mean,
everything on it.
I think, I know that we're all giving our all on this show. And I think it's something fresh. It's a show that you've never even seen out there. There are other church shows, and I see people trying to compare it. Listen, there's no comparison. And this is just not a church. I want to clear that up. This is just not a church show. You know what I mean? This is a show for everybody. If you love watching Love and Hip Hop, you're gonna love this show. If you love watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, you're gonna love this show. If you love reality TV, Love After Lockup, you're gonna love this show. You know what I mean? So listen, grab your popcorn, tell a friend that Thursday, March 16th at 9/8 Central. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm gonna be in front of my TV.
And also, it's a big deal that we got the Braxton's time slot.
Yes,
so you're not gonna miss. Yes. You're not gonna miss anything. We just going through. We taking it to another level.
Yes. So that whole night, you got Growing Up Hip Hop, their finale, then us, then Omarion's So listen, that whole night, you might as well just take off that whole day and just be home by what? 7, 8 o'clock, and just invite your friends over. You know what I mean? Have a crab boil, whatever, and just sit up and watch WeTV.
Get your wine.
Sit up and watch WeTV. Get your glass of wine. Listen,
Yeah.
pour you a shot. Get you a water, whatever it takes.
Roll
Get
up.
some popcorn. You said roll up. I dig it. But whatever it takes. Get your hookah. Hey, put your feet up. It's gonna be entertaining that night. You dig?
Pretty much.
Well, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time. I will say I'm looking forward to seeing this show. I grew up in church, so I get it, and I appreciate you guys' transparency on something that is so sensitive. It's not just about religion. It is letting people into your full-on relationships with God, and I think that we appreciate that because people need to know, like, it's a thing day to day. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys taking the time, and shout out to season 2 already.
Listen,
okay,
we claim it. We claim it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Tishelle.
Bye-bye.
Coming from a gospel background, why are you sticking towards R&B?
I love sex. When it comes to the music scene in Detroit
gospel scene, it's just like we're known for gospel music. Detroit is just that place.
Growing up in the industry, growing up to sharing our parents with y'all.
I am daughter of Fred Hammond. I was literally born into gospel music.
Well, I'm not a gospel singer. Preacher's kid, PK.
So we all grew up in the same church.
This generation of gospel is different because we're more free to just be ourselves.
I call Mario Wine.
If Mario is overseeing the project, I'm not working on it.
We are the children of legends.
My mom secretly wished that I followed in her footsteps.
And now, as the next generation, we are carving our own path.
I'm trying to figure out how to get off a blow-up mattress.
When I was young, I was very rebellious.
Singing in strip clubs. I'm still showing up at church on Sundays.
You think Jesus got horny?
Because I done already got paid to shake it.
I know the church people gonna run me against the coals on this one.
I apologize for having an affair. I want to dig into where I am. I want this to translate through my music.
Maybe I just don't have what it takes.
I gotta deliver.
We need some help.
Let them breathe.
Grown in Gospel. All new series premieres Thursday, March 16th on WeTV. Stream every moment Mondays on ALLBLK.